Actually, one of the best ways to fight Islam is to be friendly to Muslims. Okay, and be anti-Islamic while being friendly to Muslims, because when you're friendly to Muslims, then your anti-Islamism, they would get exposed to your anti-Islamism. If you're unfriendly to Muslims, then they will create a distance between you and them, and your anti-Islamism is not going to rub on them. They're not going to get influenced by your anti-Islamism. The more you are accessible to Muslims because you're not being harsh and to them, the more they're going to experience your anti-Islamic views.
Okay, so like present the truth, but not be hostile, I guess, or
Yeah, yeah. I actually go out of my way to be extra friendly because I want to make a good case for. Look, I'm an Islamophobe, and I'm really easy. I'm a good person. So
right,
it confuses their, like, because a lot of them think that Islamophobes are like demonic, evil people. So it confuses the fuck out of them if somebody is like an extra Islamophobe and is like, by the way, like, and also treats them very nicely and friendly. Like, they were like, what the fuck? Like, why aren't you supposed to be like the devil, or something, right? So that by itself fucks with their mind, right? If you're just very friendly and also anti-Islamic, right? It just a lot of them question their beliefs when they see somebody who's this anti-Islamic could be this nice to them.
right. I mean, because you get to a point where it's like, why don't people throw this out? Because it is so oppressive to women, and and oppressive in so many ways. It's like, why do people believe this shit? But
They don't consider it to be oppressive; they consider it to be protective. That's what they see. It's also, by the way, a good way to fight Islam is to really try to understand their perspective from their strongest arguments. You know what I mean? Like, instead of, because it's easy to make fun of Islam from our perspective, but if you
right,
could put yourself in their shoes and really try to see things from their perspective, that's the best way to speak their language. Because if you come and just say like, "Oh my God, you're so oppressive to women," they're just gonna think like, "Well, this person hasn't bothered researching our perspective for half a second." So, like, yeah, everybody says Islam is oppressive to women, but if you actually get into their perspective and see their arguments for why this is not oppressive and this is actually the best thing to protect women, then when you're talking to them, if you first give the steelman instead of like the easiest attacks on Islam, they're like, "Oh my God, this person has done their homework. This, like, I did." Like, you actually make their arguments, their cases for Islam before they even make it, and they're like, "Okay, then why are you against it? Like, if you know these stuff, then why are you against it?" And then you
right.
make your case for why you're against it. So if you actually, basically, before they even get a chance to defend Islam, you bring up their defense for Islam and repeat it to them, then they will take you a lot more seriously. Right. So
Okay.
when it comes to what do you consider oppressive to women, for example, let me try to steelman them.
Well, the whole kind of like justification, that like women bring rape upon themselves by being immodest. That
Oh, here's
uh,
yeah, I'll put my Muslim hat on. Where does it say in the Quran that they are bringing rape upon themselves? Where does it say that? It
well,
doesn't say that anywhere.
I've seen imams say that.
Oh, imams
Um,
are not as just imam. You're judging imams. You're not judging Islam. If you want to judge Islam, you have to judge the word of God, not what imams say. See,
okay,
I defend Islam better than most Muslims. If you, okay,
I always love the Armin segment.
then yeah, this is Mufti Armin. So
right.
what else you got?
That I guess that Islam is okay with slavery.
So Islam, first of all, slavery is something that God was trying to. You have to look at the spirit of Islam, right? So in Islam, there's a lot of. By the way, guys, this is just me playing devil's advocate. Okay,
Yeah.
so in Islam, what you have to notice is that there's a lot of teachings for freeing slaves, right? So God understood that because the entire global economy worked on slavery at that time, so it didn't make any sense for God to come and say like, "Oh, give up all your slaves." That is like, God understands the socio economic and cultural situation at the time, and God is not going to come and ask something that is undoable by the people at that time, right? So God created the means for people to eventually get rid of slavery by making it a good thing for freeing slaves. So he basically showed that the attitude to slavery is that slavery is a negative, but by advocating that freeing slaves is something that you will go to heaven for if you do that. So he basically created the situation where eventually the world will get rid of slavery. But obviously, just completely getting rid of it at that time was not within the limit. God understands the limitations of humans and works with their limitations.
Right. Well, and that I mean, I guess part of like where you get slaves is your like political, your enemies that you conquer that are infidels or whatever.
So
God,
that was, instead of killing them, you bring them under your protection. So when you look at this, guys, look at the 4D chess that I'm gonna do here. Okay, so
right,
when you go attack your enemies and you kill the fighting men, if you didn't just leave them, they're going to starve to death. The women and children are going to starve to death because you just killed the people who were the bread bringers of your family. So the slavery under Islam is not the slavery of these barbaric Americans that you see in movies, the way they were treating black people. Babak, stop. Like, I'm gonna remove, like, seriously. I'm gonna turn off. Like, honestly, I don't know how to deal with. Okay, every time I'm trying to say something serious, Babak distracts me. All right, what was I saying?
you were saying that like the
Oh,
slavery is actually protection under Islam, like rather
yeah,
than the
so basically,
slavery. Yeah,
instead of just leaving them there, right, to be starved to death, right? So I would bring them under the protection into my, because the slavery under Islam, you treat the slaves a lot better than these barbaric American. Like, you guys, you American, you Westerners watch slavery movies and you see like slaves being treated like, animals, right? But under Islam, slaves were lived with the family, they ate with the family, and they were not mistreated. And by bringing these women and other people into slavery, you're basically saving them from starvation and death, right?
you're actually protecting them by enslaving them and bringing them closer to Islam.
You're also giving them the opportunity to become Muslim, which is going to, because they're now living in an Islamic family. And if you do that, you're going to save their afterlife as well.
Right. Well, I mean, isn't the reality like a lot more barbaric than that? I mean,
Yes, but
yeah. I
yes,
mean,
of course,
right,
of course. But beginning, I say these because I'm saying this is the level of, um, this is the Islam that you should be knowing how to respond to.
how to,
The
right,
Islam, the Islam that people say like, oh, Islam is barbaric to women. Islam is just like kills and murders. That is like, just repeating that is not going to convince the Muslim who has been exposed to this level of Islamic, apologetics.
right,
So just coming out repeating like, oh, Muhammad was a pedophile, oh, Islam supports slavery, they already have a defense mechanism against all of that. So if you really want to defeat Islam, you really have to know the best arguments for all of these points to be able to respond to them when they make them.
right.
Yeah.
But and I guess the question that I had about Iran was just, what kind of chances do you think we have to like see the army turn like it did in the 79 revolution?
Okay, so I'm gonna be honest, guys. I'm gonna be honest with you. Every time, whenever we expected something and then it turns out that it was not true, I'm not gonna come here and act like somebody that saw it happening. Okay, so when we failed in analyzing something, or we made a mistake in predicting things, I'm going to be transparent with you guys and tell you, okay, we didn't see this coming and we were wrong. Okay, so in response to your question, we are kind of surprised that the Artesh didn't saw this level of massacre happening on Iranian people, and still the defection levels were not at all to the level that we were hoping for, given that they killed this many Iranians, right? So we were hoping that if millions of Iranians will show up into the streets, and if the IRGC, I mean, forget the IRGC, they're foreign forces inside Iran. Like we see people from Iraq and Pakistan and Afghanistan killing Iranians, and even that did not trigger the people from the Artesh to come and join the people and defend them. Like, that is, like, we are very disappointed right now with the Artesh.
Yeah,
I mean, at least I am.
shocking.
Yeah. You know what?
It's
Okay,
kind of
we
shocking
are
that
very much at a
that they saw
time limit
that
here.
Oh,
and didn't turn.
okay. Yeah, we
Yeah,
need to move
We
on.
are
Sorry.
14 minutes in, so we have, yep. Next, we have Sabina.
Oh, Sabina was
That was
talking. That was
different.
Sabina.
Yeah, next one.
Oh, my apologies. Cougar.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah. No, I want to ask about Iran. Just say that Iran gets freed, okay? Look at the bright side, Iran gets freed. But my worry is that what happens if, because of that lady, the messed up hair with the flower in the hair, that woman, the MEK, what if the US government supports her in installing her as the ruling party?
Wait, sorry. What is your question? I didn't understand the question. By the way, I just want to say, Babak, I love you. Okay, I hope you don't get upset with me. Okay, Mwah. Kisses to you. Sorry, but go on, Cougar, again one more time.
Just say that Iran gets freed, okay?
Okay.
Iran will get
It's supposed to be the Shah that will do the transition, right?
Yeah, he's going to be the leader of the transitional government.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, but just for some messed up reason, because you know the messed up hair, that lady, that the MEK, that lady from the
Oh,
MEK.
Mariam Rajavi. Okay, Mariam Rajavi.
Yeah,
from the
Mariam
MEK.
Rajavi. What
Okay.
if the US government
you must dismantle
supports her?
Wait, guys, don't speak at the same time. I'm already having a hard time understanding Cougar. What? Say it again. What is the question?
What if the US government supports her than the Shah?
Oh, nobody is going to support her. Who's going to... By the way, guys, are people not hearing Cougar? Some people are not hearing him. Everybody's hearing him? Okay. Who are you worried about supporting? Who's going to support her? Mariam Rajavi?
Say the US government says that, okay,
Ah,
we want to install her as the government, not the Shah.
like, no, don't worry. We're not worried about that. How could you force the MEK on Iranian people? Everybody hates her. Like, that is impossible.
I'm not sure, because every time I get on the YouTube,
no, wait.
What is
How
the
is
Iranian
America
constitution?
How is America going to install Mariam if she enters Iran? I don't know how long she's going to live after she puts her foot in Iran, like, given how much Iranians hate her. How is America going to install her upon the Iranian people? It doesn't. Cougar, like, give it away.
And also, you know, but every time I go on the YouTube, right, like Shah TV and these other YouTubers, you know, outside, I always try to correct them, right, that she's MEK communist. And I don't think a lot of people really...
First of all, America can't do that, one. Two,
Mm.
why would America do that?
I'm not sure. I mean, because they have been lobbying and doing all this stuff, you know.
America has been robbing? America hasn't been robbing.
No, lobbying.
Oh, lobbying. They've been lobbying Mike Pence.
Yeah, Mike Pence. Yeah, Giovanni and a few others.
Yeah.
And they are supporting
Pompeo.
her quite loudly.
Do you understand that the US government is so much bigger than those few people? Like, that is not enough.
The other thing is that the tactics that the IRGC and the Iraqi army is using against the people, these are all taught by the CCP. People have to know that.
The CCP has been helping the Islamic Republic with intelligence and monitoring people, but that's about it.
Yeah, they also did a lot of security training in the 90s and beginning of the 2000s.
Okay. So, do you have any other questions regarding the MEK? Don't
No,
worry about the MEK. The MEK will never rule over Iran. Americans don't want that, and even if they wanted that, they're not going to be able to force that upon the Iranian people. The main problem we have with the MEK is the misinformation that they're spreading and the media, but they have close to zero chance of ever ruling in Iran. In fact, they can't even live in Iran, let alone rule over Iran.
that's my only worry because the amount of media outside, I kept on seeing people trying to
In fact, they don't even
to
want to rule over Iran. That would be their end of they're making. They don't want to rule over Iran. This is for they're grifters. This is a money making. Being opposed to the Islamic Republic for them, this is a money making machine. They know they can't rule over Iran. They're not even intending to rule over Iran. They're just trying to for this to last forever. They want to be the alternative to the Islamic Republic, while the Islamic Republic always lives as a way to convince more people to give them money. They're not even serious about actually becoming the government or anything. This is just a money making machine for them.
yeah, that's but one last question. Are also Muslims in Iran?
Huh? What? What? What did he say? Do you guys hear me?
Are there any Muslims in Iran?
Are there any Muslims in Iran? Yes. Okay.
His
Let's
audio
move on.
has cut out. So we are going to move on again to Giovanna. Give me 1 second. Your mic was muted for not being muted during the speaking, and so I disabled it. Give me 1 second. I'll allow you back in. Okay.
I just wanted to say that unless you abolish this Islamic constitution, which is based on the Quran, you cannot be free. It needs a secular constitution based in law and order, and maybe it can be modeled after the constitution before the Islamic revolution, but like it has to be updated to comply with international law.
The Iranians' desire for secularism is beyond any country in the world, and I could guarantee you that secularism is not something that we have to worry about in our upcoming constitution.
It is because
There,
people
in
are
fact, if
sorry,
huh?
because people of Iran are programmed in a way to like per via tradition and rituals and the belief of the Quran into believing wrong things.
The Iranian people are the most
I'm not
anti-Islamic people
misinformed.
in the
I'm
world.
one of the best informed people on the planet right now.
Okay, well but your information is wrong. The Iranian people
No,
are
it's
not
not.
programmed for anything Islamic, and if you were informed,
You are
you wouldn't work.
programmed into Islam.
Wait, are we speaking at the same? Okay, make your point, and then I'll make my point. But let me know when you're finished.
You
So
were
I can
just
speak.
defending Islam a couple of minutes ago.
Okay, you are definitely not informed. I am very against Islam. I was playing devil's advocate. I actually clarified multiple times that I was playing devil's advocate. I am very aggressively anti-Islamic. So it's interesting that you say that you are very informed, but you couldn't tell that I was actually acting.
I'm a little
I
bit
said,
upset because of my situation right now.
okay, so let me clarify. I mentioned that I'm playing devil's advocate. I said, let me put my Muslim hat on. I said, let's play the steelman so that we could fight Islam more effectively. So Sabina was asking me questions about how to fight Islam, and to show her how to fight Islam to this. I want to wipe Islam off the planet, off the entire world,
Me
not just
too.
Iran. Okay, so don't think. So you misunderstood when I said when I was defending Islam, I was pretending to be an Islam defender, so Sabina could see what are the most sophisticated ways to defend Islam, so she could attack a more sophisticated version of this defending Islam. That was what I was doing. Okay, so I was trying to make it show her how a harder target looks like, so she's not just dealing with the lamest attempts defenses of Islam. That's what I was doing, right? So I'm very aggressively anti-Islamic, very aggressively, right? And also, so are the Iranian people. And when it comes to Iranian people, they are the most Islam. I'm proud to say that Iran is the Islamophobia capital of the whole world. And in fact, if when it comes to our constitution, after the Islamic Republic falls, not only you don't have to worry about it becoming secular, you actually have to be worried about the safety of the mullahs after the Islamic Republic falls. Secularism is not enough for the Iranian people. Even the laicite version of France is not enough for the Iranian people. After what Islam
Yes,
did to the
but
Iranian people,
sorry,
after
I
what
mean,
is hold on, let
yeah,
me make
okay.
my point. After what Islam did to the Iranian people, there are millions and millions of Iranian people that want to wipe Islam out of Iran completely, not just out of government, but off of everywhere in Iran. So secularism is just the first step. The Iranian people want to completely eradicate Islam
Yes, but
inside
that is
Iran.
precisely that is the problem, because you need to have compassion for the people who are still trapped in the programming of the Quran of the and Islam.
I,
So secularism has to be implemented in a compassionate way.
I agree with that. When it comes to worrying about religion and governments, I wouldn't worry about that. Okay. So I do agree that it needs to be. Now we're on the same page. Now we agree with each other.
Okay, we found some common ground. That's cool.
Yes.
So basically, the next steps is to take all the people who fight against the Islam to fight actually for something, for secularism. So it is not like what you resist persists. If you fight against something, you basically prop it up. If you fight
Yes.
for something, you energetically disable the thing that you are fighting against, because you're putting your energy into building something new. That is the
So
key to success.
So these are the four things that the Iranian people are fighting for. So they're
That's
fighting
important. Yeah.
for democracy, secularism, border integrity, and equal individual rights before the law. These are the four things that right now Iranians are fighting for.
And that are predominantly
American values.
Okay, next up we have Babak.
We're good.
And
We're
everyone,
good.
a reminder, we're doing a hard stop 5 minutes because
okay.
we've got a number of people to get through.
Thank you, Joanna. Unmute yourself.
Can he?
I can't. Who's speaking?
Babak is speaking, but he's muted.
Babak,
Yes.
are you speaking? Babak, are you
Armin,
speaking
maybe
to
you
your?
muted him.
Wait, hold on.
I pressed allow audio. I think it's an issue.
Okay,
Sorry,
Babak, speak.
can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Sorry, brother. Nothing that you said had anything on me. Okay. Thank
Okay.
you for.
Yes, I love you. Okay.
I love you too. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
But
Yeah. You were just. I just got distracted because you were doing the. You were doing the sixth position while I was trying to think of what to say to Sabina. And you were basically doing the.
I'm a fucking Iranian. Okay, stop.
Okay, but like I was like I'm trying to think what I was saying, and you were like on your camera and you're basically acting like you're fucking somebody. I'm like, what the hell is this guy doing?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry,
it's okay.
brother. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
But
So
just to get back to what the guy was saying, he came with it, and he fucking came with it hard, and he said it as it was. Okay, hey, what about D? And yeah, exactly. What happened?
I don't understand. By the way, I don't understand anything that you're saying right now.
I'll make it very, very clear. What he said was, hey, what about when,
Who
the.
are you talking about?
I'll come with it, brother. When
Just
he
get to the
said,
point.
when he said that, hey, but what about when, the, what's it called? Sorry. But when we are talking about the, when the, you had it. You just had it. The
Okay, Babak, we need to. I have no idea what you're saying. How about you think about what you want to say and you type it in the chat and somebody will read the question, okay? Because all I'm hearing is
I'm sorry,
he. Okay,
brother. I'm sorry.
That's okay. You're just write your question in the chat because I have no idea what you're saying. All right.
Thank you very much. My apologies, Armin. I misunderstood and I just asked if I could speak because I couldn't see the chat to see. I thought everybody was finished talking. Anyway, what's your argument regarding birth and death?
Death?
Yes.
What's my argument? But well, I don't have an
Regarding
argument. You have to ask a specific question.
as an
I mean, it's like okay, it's like saying, "What's your argument regarding water?" Like, like you have to ask a specific
okay.
question.
Against religions.
Are you asking me about my opinion about life after death?
No, after death.
Before birth, there is no life after death. In my opinion, there is no life after death or before birth. There you go. That's my answer.
What about the consciousness? What will happen to consciousness when
it will stop? It will stop. It will stop. You will stop being conscious.
What is going?
Yeah, anything that could be described as consciousness requires a brain to process it. So once your brain rots away, there is nothing to process consciousness. There you go.
Is there anything in the universe has got consciousness?
Consciousness, anything that could be described consciousness requires a processing. Requires something to process information. So if you have consciousness, you need information process. You need an information processing unit to have anything resembling consciousness, like a brain, for example.
What about the for example the trees, vegetables, and these kind of things? Do they have consciousness or no?
No.
How do they know?
Unless you want to dramatically change the definition of consciousness.
How do they know they have to reach up to the sunshine? Because they're competing to get sunshine.
I would love to argue about this after Armin leaves.
Yeah, let's argue about this after I leave, because we want to talk more about geopolitics right now. Just because something is moving towards, you can't describe chemical reaction as knowing. Knowing is a specific word that we use for a specific kind of information storage. So just not all forms of chemical information can be described as knowledge.
Okay, moving forward in the list, we have Daniel Dome, Heidi, Samantha, and Susie. Everyone, can you double check what question you have? If it's relevant to Armin himself, then please go ahead and move forward when you're called. Otherwise, reminder that we will all stay on the call after Armin leaves. He has a sharp 2 o'clock cutoff time so that he can go eat. Next, if it's relevant, Daniel Dome.
Yeah, so it's a personal and a geopolitical question in the same time. Be ready for that, Armin. Would you want to be the president once in Iran when Iran will be free, or some leading role?
No.
Any political role?
I love my family too much to put them in risk.
Well, why do you think it will be risky?
Well, because I'm I mean, even the president of the United States is the most dangerous job in America, right? And in America, the president, even though with all the intelligence and all the security that they have, it's still the most dangerous job in America. I mean, Trump almost died. So imagine how dangerous it is for you to be a president in Iran, especially a country that just got freed, right? Also, who wants all of that attention? That's too much attention. I mean, you're basically saying no. Like, if I already live an unnormal life, which is not very pleasant to the people around me, right? So why would I want to add to that to make it even more the center of attention, right?
So could you describe a person who would want to have any leading role in the future Iran?
What do you mean describe as in?
Like what kind of person? Would you
I
like?
guess a person. What kind of person would I like, or what kind of person would want to become president? First
Yeah,
of all, I don't think we're
if
going
you
to have a
can,
president. I think we're going to have prime minister, by the way.
could you describe what kind of a person should it be? Like, what
I think like
personal,
I think I would like the Said Qasim to become the next prime minister of Iran. I would like that, right? He's the person who's the main advisor to Prince Reza Pahlavi
like
right now.
what qualities should a person have, and like to go
They
to
need to be extremely patriotic. They need to have a record of serving Iranians, and they need to also their record during the revolution is very important. Like the people who were contributing part of the revolution, the people that went above and beyond to serve, Princess of Pahlavi and also to serve the Iranian people to free Iran. So we need to look at that track record. So they need to have a lot of merit. They need to be knowledgeable, they need to be wise, they need to be level-headed, they need to be people that have demonstrated that they work very well under extreme pressure, but they also have to have a good record of being on the right side of history during this revolution and doing everything in their power right now. Like all the people that have right now fighting, we're going to look at, when we're doing the elections eventually, we're going to look at who was doing what at these times, at the times that we're in right now. Does that make sense?
yes, but also maybe I'm wrong about it, but most of the time a leading politician is not only having the good sides, but also have like he can shake hands with real bad people. Like I don't know, like Bibi Netanyahu went to Moscow and shake hands with Putin, as an example, right? So do you I don't know how to formulate it good, but
Yeah,
like
yeah, I'm sure. Like Princess Pahlavi and his entire team agree that once we have a new government, our politician, we have to be trying to have a good relationship with the leaders of all country as much as possible. So I think that's a given.
Okay,
all
next up
right.
we have Heidi.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, this it may be past, but I just wanted to say to Sabina that regarding religion, the founding fathers actually did know quite a bit about Islam. The first war the United States fought was against the Barbary pirates and piracy in the Mediterranean area. But the way the founders dealt with it is that it wasn't necessarily a federal government issue at that time because there was no 14th Amendment. So on the federal level, separation of church and state was the ideal, but they did not extend that to the states. At the state level, religion could be restricted. And in fact, the first 9 states out of the first 13, so 9 out of 13 of the first states did actually have a religion requirement to hold public office. You had to be anywhere from a specific denomination of Christianity to just a Christian denomination. So that's how it was handled back then. And then, of course, after the Civil War, things change, and now you have this sort of separation of church and state, but that was not actually a part of the original Constitution. That's all.
Okay. Thank you for that. There's 2 more people left, right?
Yes, so I'll be reading the question. Samantha would like to know, is the reason Armin is nice to Muslims the same reason he is nice to me as a communist?
No, I like Samantha. No. I genuinely do like. Well, I mean, I do. Well, I mean, I do like the Muslims that I'm nice to as well. I am. When I say like be nice to them because that's the best way to get them exposed to more views, anti-Islamic views. I'm not suggesting that we should be acting like I have a policy of when I have this policy. I don't follow it always, as you saw with Babak, right? But I have a policy that I try to follow, that I just want to be as nice as possible, as nice as I could be. Sometimes it's difficult when things get frustrating, but I think like it's just better to be nice to people, right? And I also believe that I don't think that people are bad because they're wrong, right? So if somebody is a Muslim, I consider them to be wrong. Just you're not a bad person for coming to wrong conclusions, right? Why should I be mean to you? You just had a misunderstanding. I'm trying to genuinely be nice to them. And the way I do it is that I think that, well, they're wrong about Islam. I'm probably wrong about something else. Why should I be mean to them because of them being wrong about something? They got lucky, they're wrong about the worst thing possible, right? But I'm pretty sure I have some wrong beliefs. Like, would I want to be mistreated by somebody for having the correct position against me because I have the wrong position? So I just think that mistreating people because of having the wrong beliefs, even if it's completely idiotic, I think so. The way I look at it is that I value kindness more than intelligence, right? So intelligence might not be very common, but kindness is common, right? So when it comes to an intelligent person that is unkind and a kind person that is really dumb, I prefer the kind dumb person over the intelligent a-hole, right? So I value kindness in people more than I value intelligence. So if somebody has a really dumb position and believes in wrong things, I try not to get frustrated with them, and I judge them based on how good of a person they are when it comes to being, showing kindness to other people. I try to judge them based on that more than how smart they are and how good their takes are, right? But Samantha, with you, you have some really good takes. Honestly, I disagree with you on your communist takes. But even if I was judging you based on your intelligence, I can see that you're a very genuinely kind person. So I really do like you. I'm happy to have you as a friend. But even if I was judging you based on intelligence, I actually admire that you, even if I think you still have some wrong positions, you have done something that is really difficult for most people to do. You overcame your brainwashing. You basically managed to escape a cult, and that is such a difficult thing to do. So for me, you are something that I admire. I actually consider you above those people. I'm just nice because I think it's good to be nice to people. But for me, you're somebody that I really look up to as somebody who managed to undo the brainwashing, undo the programming, and basically escape a cult that she was trapped in. So, yeah, my respect and admiration for you goes beyond what I have with other people that I'm just on average nice to.
Thank you for that, Armin.